So last week on the show, we had on the Thurston County Sheriff, Derek Sanders, because they had this wild story there where there was this chase involving a car full of mostly juveniles, one 18-year-old who was driving. The car had been stolen. It just committed a hit and run. They crash into the woods. Some of them bail out. They're later found in a porta potty. And anyway, the 18-year-old ends up in front of a judge, and the judge says, you can go home. No bail. Didn't set a single dollar of bail to make sure that that 18-year-old comes back to Thurston County to answer for their alleged crimes. So now there's another story out of Thurston County. And I think this also just shows, some of these issues that used to be just King County issues, Seattle issues, no, the tentacles. They just keep going out. And pretty soon this is going to be standard course of events across Western Washington. And then God forbid it's going to head over the Cascades. And this is the kind of crap that we're going to see in courtrooms across the state unless we stop it, unless we care about it enough to stop it and encourage our neighbors and our families and friends to stop it as well. Now, this is actually much worse, much, much worse than the car thief being let off without bail. Much, much worse. So the city of Tenino, the Tenino Police Department put out this press release yesterday after our show was done on Monday. And in it, they tell the tale of a man they arrested under suspicion of child rape in the first degree. It's a pretty short press release, so allow me to read it to you. On July 27th, Tenino police were contacted by a mother who stated that her ex-husband from Thurston County had been raping her juvenile daughter from 9 years old to 14 years old. On August 23rd, after a thorough investigation, so nearly a month-long investigation, Tenino police and the Washington State Patrol conducted a tactical operation where the suspect was taken into custody. He was then booked into the Thurston County Jail. After careful review, the Thurston County Prosecuting Attorney's Office filed charges for multiple sex crimes, including rape of a child in the first degree. Although the Thurston County Prosecutor's Office requested bail be set at $250,000, a Thurston County Superior Court judge set bail at only $10,000. The man was released from custody soon after his bail was posted. $10,000 for an accused child rapist. A man who is accused of raping his own child from the age of 19 to the age of 14. $10,000 bail, which, by the way, is only $1,000 cash. And I know, innocent until proven guilty. Everyone has a constitutional right to bail, but you only have a constitutional right to reasonable bail. And I cannot, for the life of me, understand how anyone who works in the judicial system would believe that that is a reasonable amount of bail. And this wasn't some fly-by-night investigation. And I know that there are people out there who make up all sorts of accusations against exes. And again, this man is innocent until proven guilty. But this was a month-long investigation between the Tenino Police Department and the Washington State Patrol. It was a review from the prosecuting attorney's office for what charges were warranted in this case. And then that man stands in front of a judge in Thurston County, and that judge decides, even though there's a request for $250,000 bail because of the egregious nature of the crime accused, that $10,000 bail is appropriate. That's genuinely sick. How have we gotten to this place? And I agree with the sentiment. We were talking on the show a couple weeks ago that I don't want to call out judges by name when they're involved in an ongoing trial. I just think that can lead to what might be perceived as interference in the criminal justice process. But when it comes to judges at first appearance who probably aren't even going to be the trial judge on a case down the road, I'm perfectly fine with naming those judges. And I think that we have to, because judicial races often just go unnoticed, undercovered. And so I want to talk about both the judges in these two instances that I just outlined. So the judge in the case I just talked about, who set $10,000 bail for an accused child rapist, is Judge Sharonda Amamio, who was elected in 2020. The judge who set $0 bail for the 18-year-old who allegedly stole a vehicle, hit a car, led police on a high-speed chase is Judge Allison Zip, who was appointed by Governor Jay Inslee in 2021. Judges play such a critical role in keeping communities safe. Truly. Their judgment as to what is an appropriate amount of bail for someone who has been accused of a violent crime, their judgment can be the difference between whether that person commits another crime, has the opportunity to commit another crime, to victimize more people. And you would hope that every single judge takes that responsibility seriously. Again, you have a constitutional right to bail. But that doesn't mean that you get to walk out scot-free, or that doesn't mean that you can be accused of raping your child and you can post $1,000 cash and be out in a couple hours. This is really insane stuff. And again, this is Thurston County. We have seen this sort of sentiment when it comes to the judicial branch really start to infiltrate in superior courts in various counties in the state of Washington. It's not just a King County issue anymore. And I know that coming up on the show tomorrow, Representative Travis Couture, who represents this area in Thurston County, is going to join us because he and I know some other representatives, including Dan Griffey, are just livid over all this, and they should be. And I think that you have to keep raising awareness for it, and you have to keep speaking out about it. And I don't know, I don't think politically speaking, from a legislative perspective, there's much that can be done because the judicial branch has to be allowed to operate independently. Judges have to have discretion. They do. Prosecutors should have discretion. But when they are abusing that discretion, the voters are the only ones who have an opportunity to hold them accountable for it. And that's what needs to be done.